fight goes on, if he's still in it.
Oh! Down goes Garcia. Trap him again. Hammers him. Oh! Body shot knockdown with a brilliant left hook to the body. And it's not clear that Martinez will get up. It's a body shot knockout for Mikey Garcia.
That is spectacular.
Oh boy, to start this list off, URANGO was making his first defense of his IBF junior welterweight title against extremely hard punching Randall Bailey. Both guys are power punchers, so someone's getting knocked out here. Now I knew URANGO had a granite chin, but I didn't know it was that good. Not a soul, and I mean not a soul, would have gotten up from a perfectly landed Randall Bailey straight right hand.
That stick of dynamite.
And there it is!
And Bailey definitely thought that too. It landed perfectly, and immediately upon impact, it splits URANGO's cheek wide open. URANGO took a little breather and got up like it was nothing, then to continue that round like nothing happened. Added note, I don't have this fight anymore in high definition. It was long lost when my hard drive failed in January 2016, or it's just lost in my archives because of these funky titles and lack of organization. Either way, I can't find it, and you gotta see the rest of this segment in potato. Sorry family. So back on track here. Bailey tries to recreate the success he had, dropping him, but was unable to hurt URANGO again. He got used to his best shot, and he was able to bowl right through it, wearing Bailey to the body to where he was able to drop Bailey several times.
Is Jackson one of the better trainers in the business?
And now down goes Bailey as URANGO counters with a left. Can Bailey get up?
To ultimately stop him in the 11th round. This was a good series in early 2013. Undefeated Arthur Szpilka was against his biggest test, gatekeeper Mike Mullo. This was just your classic heavyweight fight. Very crowd friendly, very TV friendly. Despite this being Szpilka's first fight in Chicago, Polish fight fans / football fans came out in full force, easily selling out the arena.
Decision against his former contender. And Mullo lands a left hand that time as Szpilka was off balance. Szpilka doesn't look.
Due to an awful cut due to headbutts, Mullo was having a lot of trouble getting to Szpilka, and after what would be the final time the doctor will allow the fight to continue, in round 4, he went for broke.
Oh, he caught him! There it is! Wow! Just when he needed it badly!
The next round, Mullo was all over Szpilka and was unable to get to him, punching himself out. In the 6th round, Szpilka was able to split right through that guard, knocking him out cold.
Oh, he covered up and paid the price! He went down like a redwood!
You never saw that shot.
It's over!
This was just one crazy first round here. It really looked like Ramirez was finished. Besides having not the best defense, he went down early due to a hit behind the ear, which completely messes up your equilibrium. After being knocked down for the 2nd time, Ramirez was able to survive the 1st round. After shaking off the cobwebs, Ramirez was able to come back with heat of his own, dropping Dion and folding him up like a beach chair. The first fight, my brother was like, dude doesn't even have a chance, and I was like, bruh, he's gonna win. I was obviously at that time a Thompson fan. Yeah, I'm fans of a lot of random fighters. I really thought the guy was gonna win, and I thought this David Price guy is overrated. That knockout wasn't pretty, but man, I was wilding out in my years of watching boxing. My time watching these two fights here is the most I was straight up just wilding. So since everyone thought it was a fluke, and the only way for Price to go back on the road for title contention, a rematch was a must. And early on, Price was getting the best of Thompson, being first and landing, which Tony is a tricky fighter to fight, and he doesn't really get the credit he deserved on that. Price towards the end of round 2 catches Thompson with a perfect shot, laying him out. Most guys, they would have been finished, but Thompson, with the mindset that he took bigger and better shots against Vladimir Klitschko, got back up like the 2-time contender he is, and made it to the 3rd round.
Right hand, counts it in, he's back up.
Price once again offensive heavy, laying it out on Thompson, who was for the most part unfazed, but clearly he lost the round. The 4th round, Thompson's legs were fully back, and he is far fresher than Price, who had punched himself out. This is very reminiscent to Vladimir Klitschko early in his career before Stewart had revamped his style. Despite it being an even 4th round, Thompson was able to edge Price in the final 10 seconds. Price now showing clear signs of fatigue. The 5th round, Price had completely hit the wall, and Thompson was taking full advantage of the situation to where Price was unable to defend himself and was too tired to even respond, which the ref was forced to stop the fight.
He's not doing enough with his hands, he's hardly defending himself, and the referee steps in and he gets a standing count. He's absolutely knackered and he's counted out! Tony Thompson shocks the world again!
After failing brutally to win the title against Kiko Martinez, many thought that Hozumi Hasegawa was going to retire. Even the fight was promoted as his last and final fight. Hasegawa decided to not retire and go for one last title run. After pulling off a big win against undefeated Mexican prospect Horacio Garcia, Hasegawa was in the line to fight for the title one last time. His opponent, WBC Super Bantamweight champion Hugo Ruiz. Now Ruiz was a scary fighter to face at Super Flyweight to Super Bantamweight. He was incredibly large for the weight class and had a dynamite power. Not a soul gave Hasegawa a chance. The size difference was pretty clear between the two. Hozumi was early to the middle of the fight, performing well, but Ruiz was still fresh and was banking on that one shot, and in the 9th round, Ruiz got him. That pretty much looked like it was it for Hozumi. Hugo was going in for the finish, and then out of absolute nowhere, Hasegawa unloads 15-20 punches while rolling Ruiz's shots, then to completely win the exchange to back him off. This is a Hajime no Ippo green eye moment here. Hozumi saw that this is his last and final chance to win a title and retire into the sunset, and literally went for broke. That huge risk paid off. As that round ended going to the 10th, Hugo retired from the corner and Hasegawa once again champion in his 3rd weight class. Hasegawa happily retired as champion that following year. While Rigo was literally being squeezed out by the boxing elite to where he couldn't get any fights, he took up to fight 5'11" OPBF featherweight champion Hisashi Amagasa. Promotion-wise, Guillermo received more love than ever in his career. He was the main event to Japan's New Year's Eve card, which if you don't know these cards, they are incredibly stacked cards, and literally they are the final meaningful boxing matches to end the year off.
1% の可能性にかける。それがボクシング。極限の戦いが今始まる。WBA、WBO 世界スーパーバンタム級タイトルマッチ。
The fight started off as your typical Rigindo fight, but he is putting on an absolute show, defensively and on the offense. As much as American TV networks and promoters were coming up with excuses why Rigo is not marketable and boring, he is certainly being the opposite here. In the 7th round, by this point in the fight, Rigo is in autopilot mode, but having fun at the same time. While beautifully evading a shot and going around Amagasa, he may have underestimated how fast Amagasa was going to switch, and this is when the fight changes completely. Rigo receives pretty much his second legitimate knockdown of his career. He seemed okay despite Amagasa having full leverage on that shot, but the following shots he will land is what really did the almost fight-ending damage. Rigo is saved by the bell in a very animated fashion. And my gosh, in the 8th round, while Rigo is trying to get his legs back, we are actually seeing Rigo go toe-to-toe. And I'm not talking about that BS we saw against Julio Ceja, where he's forced to not fight like himself to make it entertaining. We're seeing an organic toe-to-toe battle here. Once Rigo got his legs back, he fought like a pissed-off teenager, really just laid out an offensive bombardment on Amagasa, to where he broke Amagasa's jaw. Now, we had a taste of a rally like this against Donaire, but that was incredibly late in the fight. This was unprecedented. Shoot, if he did that more, he may have gotten more fights after this. Going into the 12th and final round, Amagasa's corner stopped the fight. This fight here is, I like to call, an end of a road type of fight. Whoever wins, the loser, that is their last and final chance at a possible title shot. This fight was for the interim WBO title, and wow, both guys were fighting like it was their last and final title shot. And for Jang Dang, it was 100% confirmed this is his last and final chance. Back and forth action. Salido draws first blood, scoring the first knockdown. Then after some crazy toe-to-toe action in the second round, Jang Dang drops Salido. In the 4th round, Salido knocking down Jang Dang for the second time in the fight towards the end of the round. Salido, thinking the fight is over, goes for the finish, and at the beginning leaves himself wide open, then to get knocked down by Jang Dang. Jang Dang did not follow up though because he didn't have the legs and Salido didn't have his legs, so they mutually took the round off and the action erupted in full force in the 6th. Crazy confusion happens at the end of the 6th round. As Salido hurt Jang Dang, he's going in for the finish. The bell rings. None of the fighters heard it, so when the ref broke them up, Salido and his team thought they got the TKO.
¿Qué pasó ahí? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué fue? Se equivocaron.
Jang Dang put up a good fight, but he was dead tired after being dropped for the 3rd time in the 7th. And at the beginning of the 11th round, Salido landed a lethal combination, flooring Jang Dang cold to become the interim champion. The fight started off a war of nerves. Not a lot happening, and then at the end of round 5, Wilder drew first blood, dropping Ortiz. Ortiz fired back, hurting Wilder to where he was literally saved by the bell. Then to be saved again by the ringside doctors, which gave Wilder an extra 20 to 30 seconds to gather his legs back. Wilder will get his legs back, and at the end of the 9th round, he was able to come back and wobble Ortiz, which could have really ended bad for either guys, as Wilder almost ran right into a 2-piece combo by Ortiz, which luckily he missed. Wilder will go on to dropping Ortiz and finishing him in the 10th round. This was just Hamed's time to shine, making his US debut against featherweight great Kevin Kelly. An irritated but warmed up Kelly catches Hamed cold, dropping him in the 1st round and winning the round big, then again dropping him in the 2nd. Hamed had to do something and do something quick. When he was finally synced in and got a rhythm, he then dropped Kelly. After an exciting 3rd, in the 4th round, Hamed drops Kelly, and this time it did damage. Hamed, trying to go for the finish, gets a little too wild and gets grazed, causing his glove to touch the canvas due to poor balance, and the ref counted as a knockdown. Not sure if Kelly thought that he hurt him or not, but he immediately went on the offensive, then to get countered with the fight-ending blow. Hamed in his American debut put in an absolute show and one for the history books as a Hagler Hearns of the featherweight division. On top of that, this is Yeet or Get Yeeted Part 2. For more videos like these, be sure to like, and if you're new, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram for more video updates, memes, boxing news, whatever. I am Office Honcho, and I'm out.